Hey, Dr. Laszlo here with Elevate. We're here in beautiful Denver, Colorado, talking to you today about Moral Code, Chapter 3. We're going to be talking today about the bad six: lie, cheat, steal, destroy, mentally harm, and physically abuse. Is it ever okay to do those to another individual? I say not. We'll get more into the book on topics of survival or not, but for right now, we're going to be talking to the people of Denver today to see what their take is on morality, on ethics, on simple moral code. Can we agree to all come together with those bad six, not do those to each other, and be a little more flexible with each other's individual opinion on the other ones you're about to see? We're talking about avoiding the bad six towards each other, like, for example, lying, cheating, stealing, destroying, physically harming, or mentally abusing, right? Mentally harming or physically abusing. Could you get behind a movement like that where we all agreed as a society to not do that to each other?
Well, initially, we're not supposed to even have a movement. We already have one.
Yeah.
Okay? Why do we have to be told over and over again what we already know?
Yeah.
It's common sense. Now, what you're really asking is, should we reinitiate our common sense back to our etiquette?
I like that.
I think the answer is yes.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's one thing about common sense is it's not that common.
Well,
Do me a favor. Pick a card, any card. All right, what's that say?
recreational drugs.
Okay. And if you don't mind, what's your opinion on recreational drugs?
Well, I'm not a judge of anything, so I can't judge anything in terms of what anyone else has to do or wants to do. It's all up to them.
So if we could agree to get back to common sense, right, and not do the bad six, could we respect each other where, hey, someone wants to do that, someone doesn't? Could we be respectful towards each other in that way?
If they learn it, yeah.
Do you think our definition of good and bad and right and wrong has changed a little bit?
Just in people's minds.
Yeah, exactly. What is right and wrong to you from your generation?
Well, murder is wrong and thievery is wrong,
Okay.
and leaving your other fellow man alone is right.
Yeah. Now, if somebody agreed to not do the bad six to each other, right? The lie, cheat, steal, mentally harm, destroy, physically abuse, but they had a strong desire for things and maybe we didn't believe that same way, could we still live conducive for each other as long as we agreed on those top six?
Yeah, as long as they don't try to push their ideas on the other person.
Yeah, excellent.
We could.
Yeah. It has been very nice talking to you. Thank you for your opinion. We're talking to people today about ethics and morality, what we can live with and what we can't. So let's start with this. Pick a card, any card,
Okay.
and what does it say?
Gambling.
Gambling. Okay, what are your views on gambling?
To each his own.
Okay. What would you say to the argument, well, gambling is addictive. People can ruin their lives if they gamble.
I mean, there should be support groups for people like that, for sure, but it's hard to tell people what they can and cannot do.
Yeah. So do you think if something has the potential to be addictive, it can still be okay morally?
I think so. Yeah, sure. I mean, in the case of gambling, I think that there's nothing immoral about willingly walking in and doing something that you choose to do that's legal and doesn't hurt anybody. So
Do you think we're a little confused on our morality today in today's society?
I just think there's a lot of disagreement, but I think people are generally pretty convicted.
What would you say to the argument from someone on the other side saying, hey, if something is addictive, it's wrong? Or if something can be addictive?
Something that can be. Well, I mean, I guess it all comes back to choice, and people will have that choice to make. And if you're dealing with an addiction, you're dealing with an addiction, whether it's alcohol or drugs or reading the Bible. That could be an addiction, right? So I mean, it could be anything, but I think it just really boils down to people's overall being able to choose for themselves what's right and what's wrong, and I think that's important as Americans.
Regarding different beliefs out there on abortion, what have you heard versus one side versus the other?
Well, growing up Christian, I've heard that, it's completely wrong, you're killing babies, blah, blah, blah. But coming from a, I guess, not religious perspective, there should be their choice. It should be open, it shouldn't be restricted because women need to have that option if it's, they need it in their lives. I don't know. It's very different depending, in my opinion, on religion or not religious. So that's the big difference.
Do you think it's a fair fight to say pro-choice. Is the debate really pro-choice versus pro-life?
I think people that I know personally who are pro-life confuse pro-choice with being pro-abortion, which pro people are pro-choice are not necessarily pro-abortion. They just want people to have their choice. They might think that killing a baby is wrong, but they still think it should be the individual's choice. And I think that's the big confusion there.
That's a huge distinction. Thanks for pointing that out. So could you agree as a person that if we as a whole, as a world, agreed not to do our best anyway, not to lie, cheat, steal, destroy, mentally harm, or physically abuse each other, could we live in harmony with our different views on these topics such as abortion?
There's so many misunderstandings. I think that if everyone made an effort to try to understand each other beyond not cheating, lying, and that list you just said, then yeah, that would make a difference. But just saying I won't do those doesn't make a difference. Like, you just have to make an effort towards, trying for the harmony.
Action, right?
Yeah, exactly. Not just believing that I shouldn't lie and cheat, but like taking actions towards that as well.